right here. And I've got something to say about Facebook. First of all, out of the 122,655 people, they allowed 33 people on my live stream. To top it off, I'm shadow banned regardless, but that's not the worst of it. I'll still do a video even though they only show it to that many people. I had an invite to bring someone on the camera, so I brought in Carolina from Lisbon. She was on there. She just got home from work. We're doing this live video. All of a sudden, Facebook starts dropping the people from the live stream down to 2. Our conversation lasted probably 3 minutes. Do you know what Facebook did? As soon as I ended my thing with her, Facebook totally cut that live stream where I had the opportunity to invite her on the camera. She was so happy to be on there and speak. Facebook cut it completely out of the live stream, ended the video right then and there. And if it wasn't Facebook, it was their algorithm or their Facebook, whoever, literally cut it out because they don't want people connecting with one another. They don't. YouTube, in my opinion, is far more better than Facebook when it comes to allowing you to have some freedom. Facebook, on the other hand, no. I'm telling you what, they're the worst. I'm still going to keep my account up on the Facebook. I am, because I have friends over there. I have followers over there. But when you deliberately suppress the speech of another, you suppress my speech, and then you suppress the speech of someone who was a guest on my Facebook live stream who I invited because it was suggested to me by you, then you suppress her speech? No, I got a problem with that. I've got a big problem with that. I don't like it, Facebook, for you doing that to me, because that's not fair. You don't do it to anybody else. I wasn't breaking any of the Facebook rules whatsoever. However, on Facebook, you don't really have any community guidelines like YouTube have. You don't. You allow anything and everything that suits you, but one thing you don't allow is other things that you don't like because you don't like the person that it's coming from. That's what I got a problem with. You do not give freedom of speech, and you are not an equality like social media. You're not for equality amongst the people. You're not. You're for discrimination is what you are on the Facebook. You discriminate against me. You discriminate against a whole bunch of other people is what you do. That's it. No, I don't know what it is, you all, but this is ridiculous. Whoever is in charge of Facebook, this is ridiculous, okay? And if you take me down, fine. Then my time on Facebook is up. That's how I'll look at it. Then my time on Facebook is up. Then anybody who's on Facebook knows I got a YouTube channel, then they can come to the YouTube. But you all, this is, that's awful. She was so happy, the woman who wanted to come on camera from another country was so happy to get to talk to me. She just got home from work. Nothing bad was said, and then boom, dropped everybody off while she was talking to me, and then cut that portion of the video and just left it at that. Just like that. Now, I know that this is not a popular video right now on the YouTube, but let me tell you something right now. If I, Gina Maria Coven Hill, had a choice, and I do got a choice, I can do the majority of my videos on the Facebook, on their platform, or I can do the majority of my videos here on the YouTube. I'm going to do it here on the YouTube. I am, until my time on the YouTube is up, or social media. I'm going to continue. I am. I don't need all that hassle that they give me on the Facebook. And believe me, they let the hate groups stay on the Facebook against me. They do. They've been reported time and time again. And I've got to the point, it's like, I don't care anymore. You go do whatever you want. You all, this is, no. Could you imagine if I had somebody here on the YouTube and we're talking back and forth, we're having a conversation, we're not breaking no community guidelines, no nothing, and then all of a sudden YouTube out of the clear blue decides, oh, well, we don't like you, boom, just cuts it like that. Well, then I wouldn't be too happy either. Okay, I do my best to stay within my lane, I do. And I do follow the guidelines to the best of my ability here on the YouTube. And I keep my mouth shut. I keep my mouth shut on the Facebook. I don't get into controversial things. I don't. It's like, and could you imagine how poor Carolina feels? Her voice was suppressed too. She was just saying how happy she was. She was talking about how it was wherever she was at and stuff like that. And she was just so thankful. And then boom, they didn't like it. They didn't like the communication going back and forth. I'm sorry if I got something to say. I do got something to say about Facebook. They did me wrong, and they do a lot of people wrong. You don't even have to do anything. You can upload a video of the moon like I have. Plenty of videos, no music whatsoever. Boom. This is copyright material. You got music in there. There's no music at all, and I have to keep going back and appealing everything because they don't want me on there. They don't want me on there, you all. It is so crazy. And I think that's why people get thrown in Facebook jail, and they don't even know why they get thrown in Facebook jail. They are more lenient here on the YouTube, you all. I'm going to be honest. They are more lenient. The guidelines are laid out right there. They got guidelines for you to follow. You can talk about this or you can talk about that. Things you can't talk about. Facebook, no. It's just whatever floats their boat. Yeah, that's right. They did that with one of your mini videos and you posted it again. That's right. Well, I go on there. I try to go on there more often. I do because I come on here and I got a lot of people over there too. And I know that some of the people on the Facebook, if you're on the Facebook and you're seeing me here on the YouTube complaining about the Facebook, that did happen. And you probably didn't get to see the video because before I even ended the video with her, I even told her they've dropped us down to 2 viewers out of 122,555 or 655 viewers. 2 viewers. Cut it and then cut that portion of the video out. I think they need to go under new management. They really do. Maybe they need to go down completely is what they need to do. And even though people need it as a lifeline, they like to, keep connected on the Facebook and social media. It is a good way to connect you all, but that is ridiculous. It really is. You say shadow banned? Well, I wasn't going to say it, Gail, honey, but you said it, okay? You did. And I remember people telling me a long time ago, Gina, get off the YouTube. You need to get off the YouTube. And I'm thinking, why do I need to get off the YouTube? I don't have a reason to get off the YouTube. Just because everybody else may be, or some people may be getting off of it, that doesn't mean I've got to get off of it. I'll get off of it when my time is up. That's when I'll get off of it, okay? For right now, I can connect with people from all over the world. And you can connect with me. And, it's like you got these clear lines. Boom. Here's the guidelines. You do. And you've got more freedom of speech. Even though you may not realize it, you all, there is more freedom of speech in the comment sections, even though some of our comments get erased. Even though sometimes I do a video outside, I think it's because my Wi-Fi, my video feed gets cut because I didn't use a secure signal. But yeah, you all, this is, just face it, you can talk about practically anything you want on the YouTube. You can. Not so on the Facebook. And it seems like, if you have morals like conservative, or you can even be liberal or anything like that, it's just if they don't like your personality, boom, you're out of there. They're not going to, if somebody doesn't like you, and that's wrong. It is wrong. I think diversity is good. I really do, from all walks of life. It shouldn't matter how diverse you are in your personality, in your life. It shouldn't matter, okay? if you want to give freedom of speech, if you want to get everybody have a voice, it shouldn't matter as long as you're not berating each other and belittling each other and saying mean and hateful things. If you're being respectful, what's wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with that, you all. Nothing. I think I'm about done ranting. I am. So I had something to say about Facebook, and that's what they did to me, and it was wrong. And I don't appreciate it. I don't. And I know I can't go over there and complain on the Facebook because they ain't going to let nobody watch me anyway. But if you're on the Facebook and you're over here, then you can hear what I had to say. That's exactly, that's right, you all. The YouTube is what you're speaking of as being a so-called problem. Well, I don't have a problem with it. Some people may. Of course, I focus on different things. I like to show UFOs. I do. I like to show UFOs and stuff like that. And I like to look back in history and things like that. I like to connect you all. I really do. Um, yeah. The comments of the falling star, you, and about Jesus, the Star Trek are gone. Well, you know what? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't believe it. I don't doubt it. I don't. But you know what? That's how advanced technology is. It's that advanced. It can go in and then boom. It also changed my words when I said, I believe he was here for 3 days. And then I said, no, I did say the word 3 years at the Pentagon. And somehow, you know, they have the technology to change your voice and make you say what they want you to say too. So it said 3 days. But it was 3 years, you all. It was. And I corrected myself. But when I went back to listen to it, it had me saying 3 days. The point of the matter is that the majority of the information I wanted to get out got out. It was very interesting to hear the story behind Valiant Thor on that video. It was, you all. So we got to just, can you weather the storm? Can you? I can weather the storm. I may not like it. It may make me uncomfortable, but I think I'm strong enough to weather the storm. Even though it may get hurricane-like winds, you all, you may face hurricane-like winds in your life. Got to keep going because we're anchored. We got to be anchored through those gale-forced winds. That's right. Oh my goodness gracious, you all. This is crazy. Oh, you meant your family says, oh, okay. Yeah, you are. So that's my thing. And I feel sorry for her because she probably thinks she did something wrong, but she didn't do nothing wrong. If she sees this video, they just didn't like me. They don't like me over there for some reason. Somebody or something doesn't. And I didn't do nothing. And you know, here's the one other thing I really don't like. While I'm opening my mouth, I'm gonna say it. I don't like it that they're allowed to have private groups on the Facebook. Why do you have to have private groups? Why do you have to have closed groups? Why do you have to have any of that? If what you're saying, if there's nothing wrong, why do you have to go behind the doors and say whatever you want to say? Even though I want to tell you it's not private because they're listening and watching everything you have to say. But why is that allowed? Okay. Could you imagine me if I have a YouTube channel and it's totally private because I want to say something to only a select group of people and I don't want nobody else to hear it? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. You need to be public, totally public. If you got something to say and there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, okay, and you're not breaking no guidelines or nothing, why can't you just come out here and be totally public and speak your piece? Okay, why can't you do that, you all? Really, no, I don't like the private groups. I don't like to even join the private groups. I don't. That's why I've been public since June of 2018. Public on the Facebook, public here. Even though a lot of people would like add me to their groups, I would never go to them. I don't like that. I don't like it that they allow that to happen. I think there should be transparency. I really do. So, yeah. So I'm not saying anything in public, or I'm not saying nothing that I don't want somebody to hear. That's why I'm out here. I haven't shared anything publicly that I didn't want shared. I haven't. Because whatever I've ever shared, it's always been for public consumption. It has, you all. And it may not seem right. You're also welcome. I was reeling Valiant Thorn. You was typing your response and you was about to send it. Julie Ben, it's happened to me before too. My comments, as soon as your fingertips leave the keys, boom, it disappears just like that. And the way I understand it, they don't know what to do about it. The people who run the YouTube, the programmers and whatever, at this point, some of the things, since AI is doing things, they don't know how to correct or reprogram the way that they want to. They're trying to figure it out. It's really new to them, is what I'm thinking. Ah, you stood up holding pictures front for the picture window. Wow. You're on a platform jail. You're in platform jail on two different. Jim, honey, you are in a platform jail on two different. On the Facebook, I've never been in Facebook jail. So if I've never been in Facebook jail, I can't see why they shadow ban me. I haven't. I haven't. Um, or any of that. So I'm being charged without anything against me, except it's because I'm who I am, I guess. Lewis, I see your comments. Nobody is active in the groups. Miss Kimmy, nobody's active in what groups are you talking about? Yeah. Well, I'm still on the Facebook. I am. No, I don't even, at this point, I don't care about their explanation because it's not going to matter to me. I really couldn't care less. I just want to vent because anything they have to say, I'm not going to listen to. I'm not, because it's too late. It's too late. From the very beginning, when I started this journey in 2018, it was all good. Gina was getting all these people coming. Facebook was getting lots of views and stuff. We had 8,000 people watching it once, and they'd show me the numbers. At one time, they had 20 some odd thousand people watching it once, and then boom, they slammed the brakes on and stopped it all, because too much information about those ships that I've documented, the light ships, they did not want that getting out, you all. Those light ships that I've taken pictures of, that I've documented, that's what did it. They didn't want the information getting out because they're undeniable. Those ships that I documented are undeniable, and they're out there. And somebody is afraid of those light ships because it's a massive, massive amount, thousands upon thousands of light ships. See, that's when they started doing it. Now, yeah, I don't get it. And it's who you are. It's not, yeah, I don't fit in. I really don't fit in, I guess, with the mentality that they want me to have. You got kicked out of Instagram last year. Well, I got kicked off the Twitter. Was that back in 2019? And I didn't do nothing wrong. All I did was ever show pictures of UFOs. But somebody didn't like me, and then boom. Well, I think these ships. Let me talk about these ships, you all. Let me talk about them. I want to dim my monitor. I'm going to dim my monitor. I'm going to ow, hit my arm. I'm going to dim my monitor. I'm going to turn my light out. I'm going to show you. This is the problem. This is the problem, you all. Let me tell you what the problem is. So I'm going to turn this light out. This is where the problem lies. 3 beings came down in a beam of light. The only timestamp I have is around June of 2018. Give maybe a few months afterward, but not going into 2019. But one was a small extraterrestrial. One was an older lady, short, kind of chubby, short hair. And one was a young lady with long brown wavy hair who stood on my front porch. This is where the problem lies. Okay. Gina comes onto the scene. Okay, I do. I take the pictures of the observatories. And there are UFOs attached to the sun trying to repair the sun. That photo went all the way around the world. Excuse me if my voice is raising, because now, no, I got something to say, you all. I got something to say, and I'm going to say it. Those pictures went all the way around the world when the observatory shut down. They did, all around the world. That's when it started. Okay, that's what threw me in this thing right there. And then the three beings came down, and I looked at the young lady on the front porch. I was standing at my door, long brown wavy hair. I knew why she was here. I knew. This is in 2018. She was going to be me. I was going to be her. My world would change. I would not be that little quiet Gina who loved to work in her garden, do her mechanics on her car, live my quiet life. No, I knew it. I was just worried how my daughter would react with the change of lifestyle that I have now found myself in. And the older lady, let me tell you, this is how it happened. The older lady who is sitting at one of my main convergent lines where I stood and took the pictures of the observatory with that extraterrestrial, she read my mind. She looked at me and she said, it's okay. It's only going to be 4 years. And it was very, very, very serious moment. It was a very serious moment, you all. And I looked back at that lady, and that was it. That was it. And the only timestamp I have for June of 2018 is June 15th, is when I saw the lady in the clouds. When I was going to my mother's, I got out of my car and took a picture. Her hands are outstretched. But it was sometime after that when those three beings, two human-like beings, and that one small extraterrestrial came down in a beam of light on my main convergent line in my front yard. That's when it started getting real. Okay, that's when it started getting real, because all the ships were being documented, you all. They were starting to be documented. Let me get this right here. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it because of that mirror story right there. We're going to flip it. I'm going to flip this around, you all. You watch this right here. Watch it. Okay, so let's see this. Come on, Gina, let's click into it. You better come on here for us because we want to see. We got some pictures right here. I'm going to see if I can flip on this. So you see these ships. I started documenting these ships right here. I call them light ships, and they don't look like our airplanes at all. They don't look like any of our ships whatsoever. But I started documenting these, and now you can see they were, little of them were coming in at a time, and then more and more came until there were thousands of them, you all. There were thousands of these that keep showing up. They made themselves known. That's what happened. These ships made themselves known. I couldn't fit them all in one picture. I couldn't. Every single day I would go out there and there would be more ships. And these are in the clouds. These are like interdimensional. There were more ships, you all. Look at this. You can see them right here. More ships. And people say, well, how did you get these photos? You stole these photos from NASA. Hello. No, I didn't. I don't know how they got in my iPhone. I have no idea how these photos, every time I'd go outside, this is exactly what I would do. You all listen to me. I would put my clip-on lens. I bought a little clip-on lens. It was a concave lens. And by the way, Amazon quit selling them and they quit manufacturing them after people went to find out the type of lens I had. My iPhone 8 and my iPhone 4. I put it on my phone with one lens on the back. I'd point my camera up at the western sky, and I would leave my flash on. And when I'd push the button, it's like my flashlight came on at the same time, and like a beam of light came out, and it was an extended photo, an extended live photo. It literally was long exposure or something. Every time I would go outside, that's what it would do. It went into long exposure, and I didn't know how to turn on my flashlight and take a picture at the same time. I didn't know how to do this, but when I would do that, they showed up in my camera, you all. Like, they showed up in my camera. And so I would post pictures every single day, 2 to 3 times a day on my Facebook and stuff. That's what I would do, because there they were. It's like this camera got into the other dimension. And this may look weird to you, you all, but this is how it happened. It's how it happened every single day. And I think the mere fact that I was told it was only going to be 4 years, and those beings came down, and all of that, That is why all of this is happening, you all. That's why, because there's something out there. These ships are out there. And I don't call them demons. I don't call them fallen angels. Those are already on the earth. I call these light ships. I've never got a negative feeling from these, even though some may have. Not me, I haven't. I've never got a negative feeling from these ships that I've taken pictures of. So, and Facebook didn't like me doing that. I was like, I was getting 30,000 followers a day. And if you could imagine, not a day, a month. So if you could imagine, that was adding up super, super fast. And they had to slam the brakes on because what I was sharing was reaching way too many people, way too many. And they didn't want the news to get out about the UFOs. They slammed the brakes on me, is what they did. And someone said, Gina, you need to go to the YouTube. I said, no, I'm fine here on the Facebook. It took a long time for me to come over here to the YouTube because I didn't want to. I thought I was fine on the Facebook. I see I wasn't fine on the Facebook. So I'm glad I was coerced. I'm glad somebody pushed me and said, Gina, please get over there on the YouTube. So yeah, you all, that's what happened. So there are ships. There's thousands of these ships, thousands upon thousands that showed up. And makes me mad. It really does. It makes me a little upset that somebody doesn't want the news to get out. It makes me upset. But then you know what? It's too late. It's way too late because it's already reached more people than they expected, and they can't stop it. They can't. They can't stop it because people already downloaded all these photos, the photos of the ships, you all. They've already downloaded them. See, look at them. These great big long ships, you all. And some of these ships, a lot of these ships are in the sun. I've documented them in the sun also. You have to work the photo really hard, but they're in the sun also. They're long white ships. And they have the ability to connect. And you could probably say that some of these may even be circular. I don't know, but all I know that they're long and white, and they're perfectly cloaked in the clouds. So that's my rant. That is about the Facebook. No, I don't like it. I didn't do nothing wrong, and that's what they did. Not just to me, but to the person who was on there. They dropped it to 2 people. So YouTube has more freedom, in my opinion, for me, just for me. I can speak for myself. I can't speak for other people. For what I'm sharing, there's more freedom here for me than on that Facebook. Yeah. So, and I may complain about YouTube at times, and I do, but they're nothing like the Facebook. Nothing. Yeah, and I may get shadow banned on here, but not as bad as the Facebook, you all. I don't. Not as bad as that. And I don't think it's right to the people who want to see what I have to share, and they can't do it on the Facebook because Facebook won't let them see it. That's what I'm saying. They will not let them see it at all, and it's just not right. It's not right at all, you all. These are in the sky. They're interdimensional. They're going to come out whenever they want. And a lot of these ships can be seen across the sun at any given time. If let's see this one. If you're looking for them when they want to be seen, they can. They'll be seen when they want to be. Like that, you can see them. So I think I'm done ranting. Okay, I am. I needed to get that off my chest. I did, because it's not. I didn't like it. I didn't. It's made my ear red, is what it's done. My one ear is red now because I got myself so worked up, is what I've done. I'm going to walk backwards and fall down, but that's okay, you all. I'll pick myself back up. If I fall down, I'm going to pick myself back up, no matter how painful it is, because I'm not going to stay down. And I would encourage you, don't stay down either. Don't stay down. If you fall down, if you get knocked down, get back up, because you ain't going to last if you lay there. You ain't. Yeah. There's a craft in Antarctica that is activated and heating up, also sending a message One on the moon, come now is the message. Hello there, Susan, honey. Thank you. You all. I'm going to go, and if I sound a little irritated, I am a little irritated, but sometimes I don't speak up about that, what they do to me there. I really don't let it all out. I keep it to myself. It kind of hurts my feelings that they do that to me, but I'm just got to move beyond it, and I did move beyond it. Okay, I did. That's why you see a lot more videos on this YouTube than there, because I'm suppressed. I don't have freedom of speech over there like I'd like. I don't. Well, I would if it's a topic they want me to talk about. Okay, yeah. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And sorry, I hope that energy was not too much for you, because I know that energy spreads. I know it does. But I'm going to stand my ground, and I would encourage you to stand your ground, and you can speak up if you want to speak up. Okay, as long as you are able to speak up if you want to. Yeah. I don't feel like dancing. I thought I might feel like dancing, but I don't feel like dancing. You all, I felt like speaking up, standing my ground. That's what I felt like doing, standing still. So yeah, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Love you.